This is the moment.
The Bachelorette is back. And the power
I'm gonna fall in love.
is in Jen's hands.
And I'm gonna do it my way.
ABC Mondays.
Everything about her is great.
I feel so special.
Jen's looking like a queen.
My men are very, very hot.
Someone call 911. You are looking so fired.
This is the beginning of a new era.
The Bachelorette. All new Mondays, 8, 7 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
Savage.
I just pull half of that, but coming on, man. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear how bad you mangled Alchemist.
Oh, yeah. I could never, you know me with fucking words, man. I can't fucking pronounce a fucking word for fucking anything to you.
And this is not conspiracy theory. This could be fact if we don't play our cards.
Well, I can agree with you just said, Savage. Holy moly, I mean...
You make bad news into uncut and uncensored news.
I never know if it's true. I guess it is that Speaker Johnson said there's not a...
Real talk. No filter on Savaged Unfiltered. Savaged.
Oh, it's crazy, you know? Like this woman, man, she's been fucking following this show for like almost a year now, man. And it's awesome, man, getting the fans, you know, of Savaged Unfiltered, dude, right on the show, man. It really is. Yeah. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. Like people, like, holy shit. Like they're like, you have an audience? You damn right we have an audience, but you just see one of the fucking people that came on the show. I've been listening to you for a fucking year, Savage, and it's been great having you, you know, on the show. I'm like, holy shit.
And I don't know of anybody else that does this, so that's another wonderful, unique niche the Savage family of show brings to people. We introduce you to those who listen to us. Yeah. We believe a lot of you who listen to us deserve to be heard too.
Absolutely.
So you get it, you know, unless we had that one Raven lunatic on the one time. But, you know, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, she was a complete nut job in her own aspect. I mean, crazy. A lunatic. And speaking of lunatics, we were just talking about this.
It was entertaining, though. Yeah.
But we were just talking about this man, like with Bev, about lunatics, literally lunatics, like Beethoven, that created wonderful arts of music. Fucking a crazy nut job in his own aspect, but fucking delivered like wonderful arts of music that could never be replicated ever again.
Yeah. Brilliance, usually brilliance and crazy. A lot of times go hand in hand, if not brilliance and awkwardness, if not crazy. Like, look at an Einstein. I mean, he was a very awkward kind of dude, but
oh God,
so brilliant. And then, I mean, some of these other people who indeed are just like, woohoo, way out there, but they have a degree of brilliance to them.
Oh, by the way, Joseph, if you want any of these cuts and behind the scenes, they're all yours, man. I'll fucking email them to you, for goodness sake. But yeah, man, we're about to start here in a little bit. Like I said, this is all... I got an itch. Where the fuck is my Liverishi? Shaky, please. I've been using Liverishi, and it's been giving me, like, no side effects, and I love it, you know, because, like, you know me with fucking medication. I'm scared to death of it, you know. I seen what medication did to my grandparents in the fucking 80s and 90s and 70s and fucking deteriorated them, you know. But, I take no medication. Yeah, guys, this is what a fucking 40-year-old person looks like. But, Wait, did I just replicate somebody? Oh, that fucking idiot from Ukraine. Remember that guy? This is what a 50-year-old man looks like. Remember that jackass? I see he's making little snippets on YouTube about us again, trying to get the fucking numbers.
Go ahead. Yeah, you're only promoting us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bev is telling me I'd love to have a copy so I could put on my podcast. Yeah.
Oh.
She loves the fire, by the way. Oh, God, I hope she's not going to marry me or something.
And that's the other thing, though, while we're just shitting. What is with commitments or lack thereof of people? I wasn't here for the start because you had to shift, and I understand that happened.
I had to shift, but you understand where the shift is.
You have to shift on occasion, but I had another commitment at 11.
And the commitment fell through, that jackass I heard.
I couldn't just abandon that. Yeah, but 12 and a half minutes, I'm sitting there waiting for that host to show up. Never shows up. All right, Balin, coming over here.
Well, that's what you get with amateurs versus professionals, Joseph.
Yeah.
Professionals
and then the other thing, too, remember 2 weeks ago, X live stream.
Oh, you noticed how I plugged in Fingers Malloy, right?
I did catch that. Yeah. Shout out to Fingers Malloy and Sarah.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks ago, the X live stream, when I was filling in for you all by myself, thrown into the deep end. 2 no-shows.
I'm listening to you. You see me going back.
Yeah, I know. Shaky.
Okay, Shaky telling me that we do have Mr. Beeks in the green room here. So he is on board here.
When we all fall asleep, where do we go?
He kissed me. No, he didn't. When we were fixing up the pool... Stop! They said it hadn't been used in 15 years.
Maybe they weren't pool people.
This is not for the kids. I used to be scared of pools.
Cider! Come on, Cider!
Getting a vibe here. Do you have a boyfriend?
No. Hey, someone's coming over in a minute.
Keep your mouth shut.
Marco? You need to say something back. Ronan, Marco.
Why aren't you saying anything? My kids have seen things, and I'm worried something is happening to my husband.
Dad?
I've been looking for you.
There has to be some way to stop this.
Marco.
Elliot!
Wrong. We've got Oathkeeper and actor James Beeks, seen here showing his range from banker cowboy to cowboy banker. Beeks was arrested last week for allegedly attempting to break through a line of police officers guarding the Senate chamber. But it turns out he's not just a threat, he's a triple threat. Because until his arrest, he was playing Judas in the touring production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Jesus Christ Superstar. A Broadway performer was at the Insurrection? Well, that explains why he was giving notes to the other rioters. No, no, no. When you scream, hang Mike Pants, you do it from the diaphragm. Not hang my pants, it's hang Mike Pants. But investigators finally found Beeks after attending 2 performances of Jesus Christ Superstar. Really? 2 performances? Come on, FBI. Just admit you like a good musical. I think we need to go back tomorrow night to buy a T-shirt. I mean, ID the perp. Do you think he would sign my playbill? I mean, subpoena. This week, Beeks was in court, and And he got himself in hot water when he told the judge that he had divine authority and argued the government had no jurisdiction over him. Divine authority? Does he think he is his character from Jesus Christ Superstar? God, I wish he'd been in Cats. Your Honor, this is not a jellicle court, so it has no authority over jellicle cats. I rest my case. Meow! I said meow, sir.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome to Savaged Unfiltered, guys. Wow, what a week! What a week! You know, I try to make commitment for my own show, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can't get the recordings in. I'm all over the place, guys. Yes, I do other lines of work. Been in the movie business now for about 15 years now. A little less time of actually doing podcasting and talk radio. Got into the movie business about 15 years ago, guys. A little over 15, maybe 15, 16 years ago. Started out as a stunt double, got into movie extras in between the years, did a lot of side production with wires and gaffing and all that good stuff, guys. And I still do it. I still do somewhat of the stunt doubling work, not as much as my early 20s going into my 30s, as I'm now approaching my mid 40s and I can't take those bumps as I used to do. It hurts. It really does. But guys, this is what I love about it. I love that these products are around, such as Live Rishi, guys. Grab Live Rishi. They are natural CBD products. If you haven't heard about Live Rishi, guys, they've been around forever. Who hasn't? When I heard this company, I'm like, Live Rishi? Sounds like a fucking company in India or something. I don't want that shit. No. Live Rishi, guys, they're a great products here. Scan this QR code. And it's an exclusive code. I'm so fired up about Live Rishi. I love them. I mention them all the time, and they keep on sending them to me. They give me fucking boxes every fucking month. Big boxes. I'm going to start giving them to Jokester Joe here. He can use Live Rishi. I don't know, but it does have, somewhat of marijuana in it. Not Live Rishi. It's CBD. It says it right there in the name. But guys, scan this QR code. You're going to get 20% off your entire order with code SAVAGE10. That is our exclusive promo code for this deal. Scan the QR code, guys, and you're going to get amazing results. Throw that pharmaceutical junk out the window and grab Live Rishi today. You're going to love it. Love it. If you don't love it, send it back. But they stand by their results and their promise. Yeah. Joseph, buddy, welcome. Thanks for filling in, by the way, Joseph.
Of course, now I got a cough.
God. Good grief, man. Get yourself together, for Christ's sake.
Perfectly fine while I was waiting, and the minute you bring me on, now I got a cough.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I have all kinds of health problems. Fibro is one of them.
Grab CBD. Grab Live Rishi. It might clear you right up. Clears me up. I rub it on my back when I take those bumps sometimes, and it fucking helps like one week, man.
I found Hempvana. They advertise on TV. They've got that at my local CVS. So I do use Hempvana, and Live Rishi is, kind of along the same line. So those work as opposed to all that icy hot stuff and all that other crap that never helps. So whenever my back gets pulled or I'm having ache issues due to fibromyalgia, I use Hempvana. So yes, if you don't have a product like that, I do recommend Live Rishi.
Absolutely.
Of course, because they are a sponsor.
Well, I mean, I would recommend them even if they weren't. They're great. I mean, you know who introduced me to this company? I got to give a hat tip to our good friend here on the show, my personal friend, Walt Blau over there at B Raw Podcast. Guys, check him out. Give him fucking hell. Tell Savage sent you, and tell them that Savage said that. because Walt is he's gonna put a fucking smile on his. He's like, that son of a bitch is still around. No, Walt Blau will be on the show, guys. Very, very soon here on Savaged Unfiltered. We're gonna have him on actually next Monday. So yeah, you're gonna want to check that out. Really, really cool guy. I told you this, Joseph. This guy does his show from his basement, literally his basement in New Jersey. And when they think B-Raw podcast, they think it's like, some kind of, high production. Well, it is somewhat, he does put on a good show, but he doesn't have his basement.
But he's not doing it at the TV studio.
Oh my God!
He doesn't have like a set like I do, like right behind me. But I mean, it's like, but he actually delivers good content and good production. I mean, he works his ass off, with that stuff. But no stranger to the business. Been around radio podcasting forever. But yeah, you're gonna check him out, guys. He's gonna be on. But I want to talk about this this guest we're gonna be bringing on here. I'm going off the rails like I usually do. But I want to talk about this guest, Joseph. This J6 Equity, Mr. Beeks, James Beeks. That's going to be on the show here momentarily. Thoughts, Joseph? I see you talking, man. I want to give you the floor a little bit here, man. With the whole J6 guy, or just J6 completely.
Yeah, looking down at the notes, we're going to focus on the J6 things, obviously, but I want to give background. If you Google, or DuckDuckGo as we prefer here at Savaged, James Beeks, like the first thing you're going to come up with is his background, which is good, and it says, Jalisco, a.k.a. known as The Entertainer, is often described as a cross between Michael Jackson, Trent D'Arby, Lenny Kravitz, Stevie Wonder, and Justin Timberlake, bringing you piercing, powerful vocals, live band production, innovative dance moves, and undeniable stage presence. So that's a pretty glowing review, and indeed, I saw on Facebook you can find he's got you can find a Facebook video of a clip of him playing Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar, Broadway in Chicago.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that he does have some movie credits towards the Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
And that's a big fucking thing, Joseph. I mean, to get into that type of production, I mean, hey, hat tip off to you. Or anybody that gets into that, for that matter. I mean, that's pretty fucking impressive, man. Yeah.
The guy's got a hell of a voice.
Oh yeah.
As the audience will soon discover. Although maybe we could get him to sing.
Yeah, maybe. But without further ado, I want to bring him on, Mr. James Beeks, to the show. James, welcome, buddy. How's it going?
Hey, how are you? You can call me James.
James, okay. I figured I'd give you a proper introduction, so okay. We'll do James though. Fair enough.
Appreciate it. Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate you having me on here today.
Yeah. So let's dig right in. I obviously we're going to talk about the whole January 6th fiasco, and everything else. But before we get into the January 6th, you actually had a life prior to the accusations and the charges and everything else. There was a life before January 6th. Let's dig into the life before January 6th, sir.
Again, with feeling.
Oh yeah!
Need a new tune?
Let me talk to you. Step into a Slim Jim.
Get savage.
Turn to the spice.
Unacceptable!
Yeah. You say demon step into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
A show so savage that mainstream is afraid of their truths. Let's get real with Savaged, Cousin Sauce, and Joseph.
Savage on the suit.
Well, you said that I was on the 50th anniversary tour of Jesus Christ Superstar, starring and in one of my dream roles. I was at the apex of my Broadway career. Actually, it was slated to go back to Broadway before COVID, and then and if you pick up the reviews or read through some reviews from when I was in it, you'll see that all over the nation there's just rave reviews of my performance. Not to toot my own horn, but I like for other people to talk about it.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, they I was on tour, and that's actually when I got kidnapped by the FBI, and actually my employers conspired with them to arrest me and bring all about these false charges against me, and it was a nightmare as they did a press release, and it was like, during my arrest, that's all they could talk about was my arrest. Broadway actor, Broadway singer. I got arrested, and actually Stephen Colbert did a piece on me. If you look at it next, this is the first time actually Stephen was really funny, and it's a funny skit. So there was a lot of defamation, and they just pretty much ruined my career and any chances of me going into a Broadway audition. So there needs to be some justice there. But yeah, that was my life before that. I've actually done 5 Broadway shows. My started with Smokey Joe's Cafe, Ragtime. I did a show called Aida. I did a show called Kinky Boots. That was one of the recent ones. And I did an off-Broadway show called the Wild Party by Andrew Lippa. But so I still had a pretty extensive career and some TV as well. So I was getting ready to move on to commercials and go into TV, but this has actually really messed up things quite a bit.
Yeah. You mentioned that you tried to, you want to venture into TV and commercials.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the conversation I was having with my agent, because I was done with doing the 8-show grind of Broadway.
Oh, okay.
I love live performance because there's nothing really more satisfying than the instant gratification of when you do a song and people are showing that love. But I wanted to start making some residual income, if you know what I mean, as a stunt performer.
Right.
Savage.
So let's talk about the TV commercial work.
Wait.
Go ahead, Joseph. Joseph got something. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, I can't keep it.
You can't.
I can't hold it any longer. From now on,
you have to.
From now on, you are James Kinky Boots Beeks.
There you go.
Just gave you a new nickname now. You can use it forever. Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? Right now, this is really exciting. I'm the defending champion of. Let me show you my belt. Of Hulk Hogan's. Can you see that?
Oh shit! Yeah,
Hulk
yeah.
Hogan.
We see that. Yeah.
I'm in the Clearwater area, and Hulk has a restaurant called the Hogan's Hangout, and every Monday night he has karaoke competition.
Wow.
And, I am the defending champion. So I've been reduced from being a Broadway star to a karaoke star now. So
that's awesome.
That's where I'm at right now. So tonight I go in to defend my title, and then we move on to the finals, hopefully. And there's some cash prizes in there. And Hulk Hogan hosts the event himself. So
and you will keep the title till you're ready to give it up. I mean, who is going to have the pipes to go up against you no matter what song? I mean,
what you gonna do, brother, when the millions and millions of beat maniacs are gonna come after you?
I hope you're gonna say something.
So if you're in the Clearwater area, come to Hogan's Hangout tonight, actually, and every Monday night for to come and support. That's what I'm up to right now.
Savage.
What happened? Well, when you opened up the Chewy box, you went a bit
bonkers. That's one word for it.
I guess I blacked out. This is the best squeaky toy ever.
Probably shouldn't, but we did get you a few more gifts.
Honey. Ooh, there's more.
Chewy's prices were so great.
You don't need to explain yourself, Linda. Keep on saving.
Pets aren't just pets. They're more.
Well, I hope I got a leaf blower this year. You got a turtleneck.
Unwrap the excitement this holiday season with great deals from Chewy.
Yeah. Well, he's apparently he's going to be on the show here on Savage here.
Who?
Hulk Hogan himself.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're going to do some kind of like raw production thing right at his restaurant there on Mandalay.
Awesome.
And we're gonna be right there at the beach shop. Because a lot of people, they get confused when they hear Hogan's Beach Shop. Like, yes, guys, it is a beach shop, but there is the shop, and then there's the restaurant right there in Clearwater. And then if you go 2 hours east of that, where I live here in Orlando, you'll have Hogan's Beach Shop right on International Drive. So you get best of the both worlds. So
yeah, we hate to tease these things because until all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, it could always fall through. But that's the plan anyway. But
we hope not.
Since you mentioned Hulk, we gotta mention that.
Well, I'll put a good word in for you. I'll see him tonight.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so what's next for you, James? You mentioned commercials, you mentioned all that stuff. I mean, is the J6 thing kind of holding you back from that? I mean, do you really want to do that, or do you want to focus more on J6 and fighting for J6 people that have been, falsely charged with all this nonsense?
Well, I don't think that I could, with this whole, I think the J6 thing is a modern day scarlet letter.
Right.
Whether I'm acquitted or not, I mean, people will, just because I was associated, because of the hatred of their political opponent, they being in that orbit, it just, there's no coming back from it, especially the ones on the left, and even some rhinos. So it's, I'm a moderate. I'm a person. I'm an American, and I love my country, and we have the right to protest, no matter who it is, whether it's BLM or whether it's, as long as it's not violent, it wasn't. There was a lot of things that the media got wrong on purpose, I believe. This is a modern day Reichstag fire, if you know your history, and hopefully people will wake up to that. But like I said, I just don't think it would be, at least in the immediate future, advantageous or productive for me to try to audition for theater, especially theater or anything in that, because it's so controlled by the left and the socialist minded people. With that being said, like I said, I'm going to be, hopefully I'll win this competition, and the first prize is $3,000. That'll keep me afloat for a little bit, and then I could just probably just go around karaoke competitions and try to win those. But right now I'm working on like going after my employer, my former employer who fired me, who colluded with the FBI to get me arrested and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking for some lawful retribution or remedy for that, because it was a mess and they were very accusatory.
So let me get this straight. He fired you because of your presence at the Capitol, or
yeah. Well, and they had a very inflammatory termination letter, and they breached my contract based on egregious behavior under my union, and now that I've been acquitted and found not guilty, there was no egregious behavior. And Miller versus U.S., and this is what I stated in my case, and I presented my own action, meaning I didn't have an attorney. I fought this on my own, and I let them know that you cannot turn an exercise of a right into a crime. And that's what's going on here. And this is Supreme Court ruling, Miller versus U.S., many Supreme Court rulers that state that what they're doing with January 6th and these, and the American people it's egregious. It's a violation of our core private rights, which is Axon versus FTC, ruling, Supreme Court ruling from this year, and Justice Thomas's concurrence is very clear and very easy read if you read it. These Article 1 courts are acting outside of their jurisdiction, acting as Article 3 courts, and they shouldn't be dealing with these core private rights issues, depriving Americans of their rights, and that is freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, right to assemble, freedom to.
I want to touch on that, if I may chime in with you, James, with
sure.
What they're doing here. I mean, obviously, these people are. I mean, they're not stupid. They know what they're doing. I mean, but why is America? Why is the justice system basically doing this to our own people? Why are they labeling? And quite frankly, if I may add her name in, right? With the former House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, labeling January 6th as the same monarchy as 9/11.
Yeah.
It's the third darkest day in American history. They label 9/11, and then right after 9/11 is January 6th.
Yeah, they're desperate. They're desperate because they're grasping onto power, and it was a cover-up because they know that they can't. They can't have Trump in office. They can't, and because, like he said, like he promised, it's going to drain the swamp, and that means them. And so, in all of their corruption, all of their dark,
They're using January 6th to try to take down the former president, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
They're using it as a poison and a toxin, not only to the entire American people, but they're doing it to try to dismantle the MAGA movement. They know the MAGA movement is the largest movement in our American
Yeah, they need
history.
the distractions and the distortions like you're alluding to, James. Yeah. And let me get your reaction to this. I'm sure you've heard now they're going after expelling George Santos from Congress. Now, he lied. No way around it. He lied his way into Congress. But look at an Adam Schiff and all those other who literally lie endlessly from the House floor, and no pending actions against any of them lying while on the House floor.
Right.
So he lied his way into Congress, but he said he's not going to run for re-election. So it's a moot point. But now that he's there, he wants to try to start speaking truth, and they can't allow that. He knows where some of the bodies are buried now. He knows what goes on there, and they must keep the George Santos is nothing but a liar narrative, so that when he starts speaking truth, it's all tainted.
Yeah. It's the pot calling the kettle black. I mean, how many politicians have told the truth to get into office?
Very
Yeah.
few.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can't figure that out, guys,
I mean,
still trying to figure it out, I guess.
I woke up during I lived in New York City during 9/11, and I used to be a CNN junkie. I couldn't, you know, if it made me comforted when they said, "Oh, don't worry, you know, just stay back and sleep." But you know, when they got us into Iraq and that kind of stuff based on 9/11, I started asking questions, and I started really paying attention to what these politicians would do in their campaigns, say in their campaigns, and then when they got in the office, you know, just do nothing. And so I just started paying attention. I'm praying that people even close to me will wake up to that fact that these people are, they're sociopaths, and they want to be able to.
You could say it. I mean, James, you could say it. I mean, these people clearly lost their marbles.
Yeah.
Right. They're doing this. I think not just for power. Well, power too, but they're doing it because the Democratic Party has lost its original message. This is not the same Democratic Party of once JFK.
You know what's concerning to me is the people who are old school Democrats who are going along with it, and they know better, and then they're going along with the fact that they're the Democratic Party. And I don't want to like to say that. I like to say the left because it's more. I don't know. It's they you know they're going against what, you know, like the JFKs of our time, and they're going against their own eyes of what they know is common sense. And 1984, I just keep reminded of 1984, how, you know, people are programmed that they can't speak up. They're afraid to speak up because of, you know, social pressure. And it's just very
well. George Orwell explained that very well in 1984. I mean, he warned us what was going to happen, you know, in the time coming. He knew that. He knew exactly where our republic was going, and these forms of, you know, what Joseph says, and I'm going to put Joseph's coin in here. He calls it fascocrats. You know, literally, that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party transforming.
Savage, unfiltered,
Technology, big tech. Again, we didn't have that 400 years ago. So life was different then. Now they can rely more on this technology versus before, where it was slow pace and everything was easy, relaxed, right? Life was easy, relaxed. Now it's like, oh, I need my next quick fix, meaning the technology. They need their next quick fix.
Savage.
Absolutely. And also, I saw a quote the other day about someone saying it's not that power corrupts, which it does, it can, but that those easily open to corruptibility are attracted to that power. Yeah. I think a little of both is true. And I do quote, you getting a call? Somebody's getting a call.
Somebody on the block, it sounds.
James did not silence his phone.
It's all right. Gotta love podcasting, right?
But anyway, yeah, on my terrorstrikes.info/quotes page about my book, I say, because Animal Farm is mentioned in my book, and I say of that, if Orwell were alive today, he would write a sequel to Animal Farm, because today some animals get more equity, special rights and privileges than other animals, because we're not an equity nation. We're an equal opportunity nation.
Well, they're trying to push it like crazy on the ballot. I mean, just here in Florida, guys, I was passing by a station here in downtown Orlando. I'm not giving locations because I don't support this crap whatsoever. But they're trying to push to make abortion now legal. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're pushing it like crazy. We got to make abortion legal. I live in Orlando.
I'm from Orlando, too. I just moved there for and it's just there. It's so. Yeah, that's one of the blue areas of Florida.
Strong blue, yeah. There's no red whatsoever.
Well, and it's not just abortion. They're going on the Michigan model. They found Proposal 3 a few years back here. They run around saying, we just want to codify Roe v. Wade into law. No, that's not what they're doing. Read their whole proposal that they hide behind 1 or 2 line snippets. It's about, they call it what? Reproductive rights.
Health.
Health. It's not
very
killing a baby, and it's not codifying Roe. Most people believe in a 15-week limitation. They want to codify murdering a child for any reason, any time, any place, up to the minute
Joseph,
of birth.
That's all you see now.
When is that going to end? When it's going to be now we can kill our child up to age 18. When is it good?
Well, what I was going to say, James, if I may add, that's all you see now on X is abortions, feminism, and equality. Trans.
Equity, not equality. They don't want equality.
Oh, equity. Yeah, excuse me. Those are the 3 topics that you constantly see on X. That's what they're trying to push. I mean, I just had a show with this woman named Bev X, right? That she is literally fighting for on X. Literally. This is what the lefties, what you had mentioned on the show last week, Joseph, with lefties losing it. I mean, literally. I mean, the woman from Sky News, right? Literally presenting it very well. They're losing their minds. They know X is becoming more of a free speech platform than ever before.
They can't handle free
They
speech.
cannot handle the transition phase.
Right.
Their minds are going to be like...
They need propaganda outlets because they cannot sell what they're really peddling. So they have to couch everything as spin. Well, like reproductive rights. We go on about Proposal 3. That eliminated Michigan statutory rape laws. They legalizing pedophilia in the name of sexual rights.
Yeah. You can now pretty much, Joseph. So what you're saying is you can pretty much rape somebody in Michigan and get away with it, then, right? I mean,
well,
it's disgusting.
You can get away with statutory rape. A 35-year-old man, male teacher, can prey on a 13-year-old student, have sex with her, and guess what? It's now legal. It's her reproductive rights, even though, we protect children under 18. We used to.
Here's the thing, Joseph. But doing that is okay. But what James was doing, exercising his First Amendment right in the Capitol during January 6th, he's considered a domestic terrorist. Oh, God. We can't have that in America. We can't have that. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Why can't a man by the name of James here that's on the show exercise his First Amendment right, saying, you know what you're doing is wrong. These elected officials that are in office are doing wrong to the nation. Yeah. And he's labeled a criminal?
Meanwhile,
Banana Republic, Joseph. Banana Republic.
Exactly. Meanwhile, what James was mentioned, BLM. Meanwhile, they're literally burning, looting, and murdering with little consequence. But yes, it is. But Banana Republic courts is what we're seeing, James.
You brought up a point. That's the reason why I went to January 6th, because on June 2nd, as we were all forced to be locked down on under the COVID drama, I saw David Dorn, a retired black man, retired ex-police, and he simply trying to protect his property in his neighborhood, and he got murdered. And that black life, it really affected me, because I was raised with my grandma and my dad's ex-cop, and I saw my grandma if my dad, if they were trying to protect their property, and these thugs came in and killed him senselessly, I said to myself, if I get a chance to protect and be able to protect people, I will heed the call. And we just walked all summer and through the fall, the summer of love, and the peaceful protests of people getting killed and murdered, and billions of property damage being occurred. And when Trump asked people to come up, and I said, this is my chance to help, because I saw after a lot of those rallies, old people getting, sucker punched after these rallies, and they're terrorizing people, and the police did nothing. So that's why I signed up for the Oath Keepers only a few days before the event, because I wanted to go there and be security and help be a peacekeeper. And that was my reason for going up there, to be a peacekeeper, because I knew there was going to be agent provocateurs in that operation, in that event. And I wanted to be there. I didn't want to go by myself. That's why I signed up with the Oath Keepers and got involved with that whole thing. And it was just very interesting to see how they turned that whole thing, because we helped Officer Don get back to his unit, and then and then now they twisted the whole thing, and it's just and now
hey, James, I got a question for you, James.
Sure.
What's your thoughts on Ray Epps during this whole fiasco?
Oh, that's
Isn't it a pity? Now isn't it a shame how we break each other's hearts and cause each other pain? How we take each other's love without thinking anymore, forgetting to give back. Isn't it a pity? Some things take so long, but how do I explain? Not too many people can see we're all the same, and because of all the eyes can hope to see the beauty that surrounds them. Isn't it a pity? Not too many people can see we're all the same.
interview with him, and all these publications he's left, or how should I say, these mainstream media publications apologizing for him. I mean, it's just make it make sense. Just make it make sense.
Yeah, EPS is all. It shows the whole point of entrapment, not enforcement. And I'm glad you mentioned Dorn, Black American patriot, loves his country, wanted to protect fellow citizens' property.
Yeah.
Not murdered by a bunch of a band of roving white racists. No. A bunch of anti-American, anti-rule of law hoodlums.
Did his Black Lives Matter, though?
Oh, absolutely. Dorn's did, yes. And that's my point. You've got these anti-American hoodlums snuffing out Black lives that really are productive members of society, and he doesn't get the press.
Speaking of Black Lives Matter, and I even want to bring up Antifa. Where is Antifa and Black Lives Matter in all this? I haven't heard a peep out of all of them.
Yeah, why did they take off?
Almost a year now.
Why did they take off on January 6th all of a sudden?
Not all of them did. Some of them were in that crowd disguised as MAGA.
That's my point.
We have the photos. Yeah. We have the video, which is why they have to cover it all up.
There was a question being presented the same way to even Atlanta's former mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, which is now part of the Biden administration. Yeah, that was a coincidence. But that was the same question presented to her, and she was like, "We'll have to get back to you on that one." Yeah. What are you hiding, Keisha? Yeah. Come on. We knew that Black Lives Matter was a huge presence in Atlanta during the whole riots of Atlanta. We knew it in Seattle. Every major city, Black Lives Matter was presented there. I think, now I may be censored. Thank God we do it on Rumble because they don't censor the shit out of us on Rumble. But, I think that Black Lives Matter was planted there as a seed to disrupt everything, even Antifa. You want to label domestic terrorists? Label them for who they are. That's who the real domestic terrorists were, not people like James. James, you, my friend, are an American patriot exercising your First Amendment right, and I will always stand by you in that matter. And
thank you.
It's disgusting of how the confusion gets presented, even on social media, with all what we just mentioned here. Disgusting.
Yeah, it really, it's egregious. I don't know. I don't know the right word to say how, I just hope that the people who are still asleep can just wake up to what's going on, because it's only a matter of time before it happens to you, So I am fortunate enough to have not been jailed, without due process. Like I said, I won my case and I've found not guilty, and I've been acquitted of all charges. Because I fought like nobody else, and my story is of a person or a man who has come from my very first memories of in the foster care system, and I was abused and abandoned in the foster care system, and from one age to 5, I was at the point of near death, and I overcame that, and I came out of poverty. And becoming a Broadway star, a 5-time Broadway star, and TV personality.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And now I've overcome this thing. So right now I'm in a position. I'm writing my book, and I want to get my story out there. I think it's a very inspirational book, and I think it's an important story. It's entitled "HisStory." That's with 2 S's. His story, and I do have a campaign to help me finish it, because it's I think it's an important story to tell.
Do you have any idea of when it's going to be launched, James?
Well,
it's still in production, right?
I actually was planning on releasing it after I was done with my tour, but I have a few more chapters to add since this whole January 6th thing. I'm hopefully by next October or November. I'm hopefully get it edited by this summer, It's hard writing a book, but I would like to. I'm actually going to be starting a podcast titled HisStory, based on the podcast, to promote the book and to talk about historical events as parallel to today's events and stuff. So, and my own personal history, and so I want to launch that by the end of the year, beginning of next year, and just to.
Well, James. I mean, it was fascinating, and it was very interesting hearing your side of the whole January 6th event. My heart goes out to you. Congratulations. I mean, the words.
Thank you.
Mean, literally. I mean, to be acquitted of these ridiculous charges that should have never been placed in the first place. Exactly. But I'm glad to hear that you're not imprisoned. And I mean, my heart goes out to the people that are still imprisoned on charges that, I mean, they shouldn't be there. I mean, don't get me wrong. The ones that broke into federal buildings, the ones that were the real disruptors, yes, charge them without the gazoo. That's breaking.
Well, they were
into
all
federal,
FBI or Antifa or BLM, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're given a pass.
I'm just kidding.
No, you might be joking for legal purposes, but no, that I will say it. That's what happened. We have the pictures of the guys. They're all known leftists in the MAGA gear, inciting the destruction and the violence. They're the ones that did that. But yeah, they're not being charged. Have you heard of Neil Mammons and Kevin McGregory? I think or McGeary's. They have a counter to Black Lives Matter called Black Life Matters. And I'm a part of that.
Yeah, I've heard
I'm a part of that organization because it is about all lives matter, all Black Lives Matter. NAACP helps fund Planned Parenthood slaughtering black babies in the black community. Do their lives matter?
Know who Margaret Singer is and what her purpose is behind planning that whole thing. I mean, it's just time for people to wake up. It's time for, and I don't consider myself black, because you might look at me and say, "Oh, I'm black," but I'm not black. I consider myself a melanated man. I have more pigment in my skin than some others, and I've been touched by the sun. Being black is placing me into a political status of not of my choosing. And being African American is a term that was created by Jesse Jackson in the Civil Rights era. And my grandma always said, "I'm not from Africa, I'm from right here." We are Aborigines. We were born on this land. Yeah. And so I reject being a black man, and because what Joe Biden said, if you ain't black, you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, I guess I'm not black.
Or what Joe Biden says, you ain't black if you don't vote for me.
Right. And
so what you just said, James, that's exactly what they're trying to censor. They don't want you as, I mean, literally like a black man speaking that stuff. They don't want you to speak that because they don't want that narrative to be heard.
Yeah.
This is going back to Dorn, too. His black life, to your point, didn't matter to the left because it wasn't the right black narrative.
I mean, look at their hero. I mean, their hero is George Floyd, a 7-time convicted felon who was high on fentanyl. Now we know that he died, what he died from the coroner's report, and that's not a conspiracy theory. That's.
Oh, we're not allowed to say that, James.
And that's their hero. I mean, their heroes are just. I don't understand how can they get. You're in the mire, and to look at, and I in my book I asked, I was like, if I died, am I going to get a city burned down? Am I going to? I just want one city burned down, and it's there. It's just what do you call it? Outrage, selective outrage. That if the media doesn't tell you to be outraged about something, they won't do it.
Right. Yeah. And George Floyd, since you mentioned him, I don't care what his color is. If we did the research, the data is there for the one George Floyd, we could find probably 1,000 white guys, criminals, died in the same situation, you don't hear a word. But George Floyd, had he not been passing bad bills, there wouldn't have been a police intervention. He'd be alive. Had he not taken the fentanyl that stopped his heart, he'd still be alive. If he did not resisted arrest, he'd still be alive. There's one person responsible for George Floyd's death. That is George Floyd.
What do you think about the Supreme Court not taking that case for Chauvin? Like are they scared of the outrage that would happen if the truth actually comes out?
More cowardice from the Supreme Court, just like their cowardice in not hearing Texas v. Battleground States. The only court that could hear it. One of the points and purposes the founders created a Supreme Court. One state cannot take up an issue against another state in their own courts. You have to take them to the Supreme Court. But yet the Supreme Court refused to hear it because, again, the evidence was inconvenient. And if the facts get out, that's a problem. So they just reject the case out of cowardice, just like the Chauvin case, just like you laid out.
Guys,
James.
I wish I could continue with this, James. I do wish the best for you. I thank you for coming on the show to explain your story. I mean, literally, I wish the best endeavors on your next journey in life. Yeah. And I hope this whole January 6th doesn't, destroy the outcomes of the possibilities coming your way. You mentioned commercials and, writing a book. I mean, I hope to see it on Amazon's best-selling list, which it will. I
appreciate that. You can direct people to my Gifts and Go. I'd love to get some help with donating to my campaign to help me finish it because it's the production's Gifts and Go / HisStory, 2 S's, HisStory, and you can follow me on Twitter, James Delisco, my middle name Delisco, and I'll be building an infrastructure soon enough. But that's the best way to get a hold of me or get in touch with me.
Yeah, great stuff, guys.
And also tonight at
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hangout. Also tonight at Hogan's.
They're all excited. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it?
Also tonight at Hogan's Hangout. Come and hang out and support for the karaoke championship.
Oh yeah. We're gonna look for that. Yeah. Oh, put the belt back on. Shaky forgot that. There you go. Okay. There you go. What you gonna do, brother, when the James Beeks runs wild on you? That's an awesome bell, by the way. I love it. That's
thank you so much.
That's the real thing, isn't it, James? I mean, that's
It's
awesome.
solid. It's solid.
Yeah. Real stuff. How much does that damn thing? That fucking thing weighs about 25 pounds, right?
It's pretty heavy, man. Like it's.
Holy shit! Look at that thing. Oh my God. God, that's a beauty. Real beauty.
I love it.
James, thanks very much for having. God, my words. Yeah, I gotta get going. Thanks very much for being part of the show. Yeah, I mean, awesome stuff, guys. If you're
thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, guys. If you're looking for more information about James, guys, we'll put in the show notes here on the show. Wow, awesome story, Joseph. I mean, we gotta go. I mean, literally, Jake and Joe throwing in my eardrum right now. We gotta go. But guys, all the show
sign off.
Yeah. All the show notes, guys, for James and anything you want to know about this guy will be in the show notes here on the show. I said that like backwards 4 or 5 different times, but we'll be in the show notes on the episode, guys. Wow. I'm touched, guys. I really am. And check him out at Hogan's Beach Shop as he will be there.